Hey everyone! Well, it's spring in Japan, and nothing says spring here quite like sakura, or cherry blossoms as we say in English. So today I have something seasonally appropriate for you. This is the Sakura Pale Ale from Mie-prefecture. If you've seen any of my videos before, or if you know me personally, you'll know that I'm quite a fan of Mie-prefecture beer. It's our local brewery here in Mie-prefecture, and besides generally making, well, great beer, one of the really cool things about Mie-prefecture is they use wild yeast in some of their beer. And as you might guess, in this case, they're using yeast from sakura flowers. I don't know if you've had a wild yeast brewed beer before. Okay, time out. Before I go on talking about wild yeast, I should probably provide some context by talking a little about the tame variety first. Yeast has been cultivated for brewing beer for hundreds or even thousands of years, depending on how you define cultivation. Basically, all cultivated yeast strains fall into two categories: lager and ale. Lager yeasts are bottom fermenting, doing their magic after sinking down to the bottom of the brew, and producing a beer that's clear in appearance and flavor. Ale yeasts are top fermenting, working while floating up at the top of the brew, and they produce a hazier beer with a wide range of complex flavors and aromas. But within these two categories, there's a large number of yeast strains that have been carefully cultivated to produce the full range of beers around the world today. And most brewers stick to these tried and true cultivated yeast strains since they give predictable results and a consistent, mass-producible product. Now back to the beer review. But there's also a whole wild world of untamed yeast out there. And when you use wild yeast, there are sometimes surprises. You never really quite know what you're going to get. And I've had some of their wild yeast beers before, actually, and they've all been interesting and good. So I'm really looking forward to trying this. So Sakura Pale Ale, I'm guessing that they're just using the regular Issei Pale Ale as the base and changing up the yeast a bit. I'm not sure if the hop profile is has been adjusted or anything like that. But anyway, let's crack this open. All right. Like my new glass. Anyway, here we go. Look at that. That's a lot of head. Man. Yeah, the regular Issei Pale Ale gets a nice thick foam on top too. And I'm gonna resist the temptation to sip it off the top right now. It smells just like sakura petals blowing in the wind. Definitely a more complex aroma than the regular pale ale. But the main notes I'm getting here are pineapple actually. I don't remember that so much from the original, from the regular Issei Pale, but it definitely had a little, but I'm getting more of a sweet, I guess maybe floral pineapple kind of aroma. Floral, yeah, what do you expect, right? Again, this is the power of suggestion probably, but anyway, I could go on more about the aroma, but I want to drink this now. So, kanpai. The bitterness I usually get from the Issei Pale Ale is not coming through very much on this, interestingly. Maybe they did adjust the hop profile. Nice color, eh? I didn't comment on that before, but really beautiful. I think it looks even better in these lights. Yeah, it is a little hazier than the regular Pale Ale, I think. This is interesting. It's milder than what I expected. I'm getting less sweetness than I expected as well. It's fairly light-bodied. Again, the aroma is quite sweet. I'm getting a bit of a honey aroma now from it. But when you drink it, it's just really clear. Interesting. Well, I'm enjoying this quite a bit. Would I recommend it over the regular Issei Pale Ale? No, but I mean, come on, it's spring, the sakura are in bloom, and this just seems so appropriate. And it is very tasty. You know, you can look at it as a bit of a novelty beer, but this is Japan, and things do change up seasonally, and there's always some kisetsu gente, like limited seasonal edition of everything, really, beer included. Yeah, the other beer makers change the label up, and you know, say a spring edition or summer edition or whatever. But yeah, so if you just want a tasty beer and you don't really care about the seasonal thing or the wild yeast adventure aspect of it, just go for the regular Issei Pale Ale, it's always a great beer. Just to recap, so it is definitely similar to the regular Issei Pale Ale. It's not the same beer. The aroma seems slightly less punchy than the original, but it definitely had a little more complex thing going on with that sweet honey pineapple kind of thing. I do feel like that slight caramel maltiness that the regular Issei Pale Ale has is less in this, and it's a little less bitter. It has a little less of that bitter finish that I expected from the original as well. Again, aroma-wise, it was really interesting, but it's overall less of an impact beer than the original Pale Ale. This could go over as a better kind of background beer for, you know, sitting around with some friends on a picnic blanket under the sakura trees. Most people around you are drinking Asahi Super Dry or Kirin or something like that, and you're styling with your Isekari Sakura Pale here. Maybe this is a beer that goes better with that obento you're eating under the cherry blossom trees. And maybe I'm just imagining more difference than there really is. Maybe this is just really regular Issei Pale Ale with a little bit of a extra aroma characteristic from the wild yeast. Anyway, this is a very tasty beer from a great brewery, and you can't get much more seasonally appropriate than this. I definitely recommend picking one up. And let me know what you think in the comments if you do. That's all I've got tonight. Kanpai.